Hey, it's Aaron, and today I want to talk about the 2026 GMC Terrain. The GMC Terrain came out brand new for 2025. 2026 mostly carries over. There are a couple of things that were added. This year saw the Denali trim, the top end, and this year saw the AT4 off-road trim introduced. I drove the AT4 this year, really liked it. In fact, I towed a trailer with it. So this doesn't have a very big rating for towing. It's about 1,500 pounds. I towed just under that, somewhere around maybe 12, and it did pretty good. Fuel economy was terrible, but that's true of anything when you're towing close to capacity. It doesn't matter what it is. And compared to the Terrain, the trailer I was pulling, which was a little RV, the trailer that I was pulling was pretty not aerodynamic. It was much taller and all of that. So in the end, it did really well. But the biggest thing that I liked about this is just that it is right-sized for the kind of person that's looking at a vehicle this size. And the Terrain is super nice inside, highly premium, very well done in there. The engine power is not great. There is no hybrid to boost that fuel economy, not yet. I'm sure that's on the way. GM has been working on that kind of stuff with a lot of its models, so it's probably just a matter of time here. It's considered a compact SUV. I would say it's on the slightly larger end of those compacts, but it is still compact. Very easy to park, very easy to move around. So what's happening with this one is it's a 1.5 liter four-cylinder turbo, and that's putting about 175 horsepower out. That's a pretty good setup. It does go to a CVT, which is not great, but it still puts out about 184 pound-feet of torque. And the CVT that they're using is fairly robust. So don't expect that to be the break point on this vehicle, as it has been on some other manufacturers in the past. With the all-wheel drive model, you do get an 8-speed automatic. I would highly recommend doing that if you can. The AT4 that I had did that, went to that, and it was far better for it. That's a little more pound-feet of output just because the transmission can handle it. Front-wheel drive models with that CVT can only tow about 1,800 pounds, but if you get the all-wheel drive, you've got 1,500 pounds. So again, if that's on your list of things to do is to tow with this, even just occasionally, I would definitely go to the all-wheel drive model. Now, otherwise, buying this regardless, I would, if at all possible, I would get the tow kit. And I say that about any vehicle of this size or bigger or even smaller, but any vehicle that is going to be in any way a family vehicle. And the reason I say that is because a tow hitch is not always for towing. It also gives you a lot of options for adding things on the back, for storage and extra cargo and all of that. So highly recommend getting the tow packages, and I say to get it from the manufacturer if you can, because it will include the transmission cooling and the other things that get added with that, which is usually a good thing. Aftermarket tow kits are fine, but I would definitely not tow with those aftermarket kits. I would use them only for accessories. Anyway, I really like this little vehicle. The little Terrain is a great little ride. We took it camping. We did some, I drove it around as a daily. It was a very good vehicle. I really like the interior. That's probably my favorite part. Now with 3 teenagers, this is a little too small for my family. But when I was just hauling around 1 or 2 of them to take them to, music lessons and things like that, this was great. And as an everyday drive just for me, it was awesome. So pretty good vehicle all the way around. The biggest downer is going to be MPGs. So as far as fuel economy goes, you can expect to average somewhere in the 25 to 27 for front-wheel drive and 24 to 25 with the all-wheel drive. I say that because I didn't do an official mileage test on this, as I usually do with vehicles, just because of time. I didn't have the time to do all of that and do what I wanted to do with it, which was go camping and haul that little RV and whatever. So I will say with the 8-speed auto, you will see a lower MPG return, but even then, around town, I was able to get really close to the EPA estimates. The EPA sets this at 27 mpg combined for the front wheel and 25 mpg combined for the all-wheel. So you'll get pretty close to that. Turbocharged engines are pretty reliable at getting close to what the lab tests, as it were, give to these vehicles. So I will say that you are going to get close. If you don't get close, you're going to be on it. Some people will get slightly above. Most of us, I think, will be about averaging out at about where the EPA says we should. So there you go. That's everything I've got to say about the 2026 GMC Terrain. I really like this little car, or SUV. I really like this little thing. It was really nice to drive. Far smoother and nicer to drive than most of those in this segment. They usually tend towards the too rough or the I have no idea what's going on because I'm just floating along. This GMC found a nice middle ground for that with this Terrain. So very good vehicle, really liked it. That's all I got to say. All right, this has been Aaron. Talk to you again soon.